नमस्कार, आप देख रहे हैं CNBC आवाज और आज की एक खास बातचीत हम कर रहे हैं जर्मनी के राजदूत माइकल स्टाइनर साहब से, जो अब यहां पर अपना कार्यकाल पूरा करने के बाद रिटायर होकर के वापस जर्मनी जा रहे हैं। स्टाइनर साहब से बातचीत तो अंग्रेजी में होगी, लेकिन खास बात यह है कि जब पब्लिक डिप्लोमेसी की बात हम करते हैं तो इन्होंने भारत के लोगों के साथ अपना एक नजदीकी नाता जोड़ा और बहुत ही अलग किस्म के डिप्लोमेट के रूप में हमारे सामने आए। मिस्टर स्टाइनर, वेलकम टू आवर मुंबई स्टूडियो. Thank you for sparing time for us. My first question would be, what was your defining moment or activity, the things that you did in a different manner in this country that you think are the most important things for you?
Let me first tell you that I'm very happy to be here in Mumbai. Also with this rain, I think it's fantastic. Of course, it's difficult to get to your studio, but we managed this morning. I love this city because it's the real cosmopolitan city of India. Now, answering your questions, I will interrupt you. So what impresses you the most, that despite such a heavy rain and traffic jam and waterlogging, we are still functional and working, or non-functional and not working? No, it functions. In a way, in a different way, not the German way, surely, but it functions here. And we were here at the minute, thanks to your directions to come to the right place, to take the right way. So it functions. In a way, it functions. We love it, I must say. Now, answering your questions, I was blessed because there were so many activities, be it in culture, be it in education, in the economy, and also in politics. So I had the whole spectrum of possible activities. And the thing which impressed me most in India is not the variety, is not the fantastic sights you have here. It is not the history. What impresses me most are the people. The young people, these eager kids. I mean, I've seen so many schools in India, seeing kids who wanted to learn German, not necessarily because of German, because they're interested to the outside of the world. You have wise people here. You have this incredible spirituality carried by people. You have wisdom. You have also craziness. But I think the main, and that is also the main asset India has, it's people.
Interesting. The biggest change that we saw in this country was political change during your term here.
Yes.
And the important thing that people are now discussing, how Prime Minister Modi's diplomacy, very proactive diplomacy, is evolving. How do you see things will be unfolding from here on?
Yes. Let me say, of course, it was fascinating to see this change before the elections and after the elections. Before the elections, there was a certain grayness, a feeling of nothing can change, we are in a mess. And then we had these elections, and now there is still out there quite some hope that change is possible. I think the most important thing is, before coming to your question, that this change came about in a democratic way. India is a democracy, and these elections we had last year were fascinating because it comprised the whole country. Even those people who couldn't read took part in these elections, and you had this fantastic turnout in the elections despite the variety of the country. So the change was carried in on the basis of a fundamental democratic understanding. The change came about because people wanted to have a change. That's what they wanted, and that's what they got. Now, of course, the expectations are high, and change in reality with an ocean steamer like India is difficult. And that is, of course, the challenge to meet. If you have to deliver on the ground. And now politics arrived in this reality, you know, after the feast of the first hours and months, and that's the real challenge. Now to really do what you have promised.
So what you call is reality. So you think political reality will actually impact the progress or direction that this country needs to grow?
You know, it's very clear that this country needs growth. India needs 8 to 9% of growth if it wants to manage the main problem, which is the poorness and the structural deficiency. So it needs growth. If you want to have 8 to 9% of growth, what do you need? Of course, a country needs identity. It needs tradition. It needs self-awareness. But it needs also openness. By the way, this is what the people want of India. So you need to be open because you need to have investments from the inside, but also from the outside. If you need investments, you need to create the conditions that the openness is there so that people engage. Because what does investment need?
Right.
What does investment mean? Investment means trust in the future. That's what investment means, because you put your money into something.
And that you think is a work in progress in India?
That is, of course, a big challenge. Okay. But we have improvements here. But the point is, it needs to be brought about in practice.
So, yeah, I was talking about Prime Minister Modi's fast-track diplomacy. So, in terms of form and substance, how do you assess?
Yes. No, I think it is impressive, and it's necessary also because we live in the globalized world. India is not an island. So, of course, there is work to be done inside, but there is also, and there had been, work to be done towards the outside. And I think what the Prime Minister has achieved in this first year is to start changing the image of India. I've seen that myself in talking to many CEOs in Germany who were rather skeptical till the elections whether India is really the place to engage massively. I mean, we have many German companies here, 1,900 companies who are here, but to get fresh investment, you need to motivate this investment. And I think this has changed because now the big CEOs in Germany would say, oh, India is becoming interesting again, seeing also the beauty contest you have around there in the world. And that has to do, of course, something with the changing image of India. We had India as the partner country at the Hanover Fair, the largest industrial fair in the world, and I think India has made there a very good impression. The Prime Minister was impressive, and also the show, the cultural show, India has set up there in Hanover. This has not happened before. By the way, let me say also, this is due also thanks to a certain civil servant, Mr. Kant, who has done that and managed that brilliantly.
Absolutely. So, what are the big ticket agenda we should look at between India and Germany relationship? What is going to happen next?
Now, we have intergovernmental consultations. That's a unique feature India has only with Germany. That means the Chancellor, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, is coming to India in October. There will be a cabinet-to-cabinet meeting. What is on the agenda? On the agenda, we have issues which follow from the fact that we are a perfect match, because you have things to offer which we need, and we have things to offer you need. Has to do with the different demographic situation, has to do also with the different stage of development. Think about skills. If there is one issue I would point out what India needs in the future is that in order to operationalize the demographic factor here, the demographic dividend, you need to skill people. University is fine, but the mass is skilling, because India needs manufacturing, as we know, and manufacturing requests necessary skills. I think, without sounding unmodest, but the best skilling system existing in the world we have in Germany with the dual system of vocational training. Now, India is very interested in a collaboration in this area, and we are ready to it. So skilling would be one of the issues. Manufacturing.
So what will it really take to take this off in terms of German help to India?
I think what we need to do is leave the stage of talking, start the stage of doing it. So what we need to do is really on the ground set up systems to show in an adequate way, because you cannot translate directly the German system.
The entire Indian conversation happening around the world with different countries is in the talking stage only?
No, I didn't say that at all. I don't think so. It has been in a number of points very concrete. But of course, talking is also necessary. And I think this is one of the strengths of the Prime Minister, and that is, of course, the prerequisite. Before you act, you need to have your act put together. So that is a necessity, but I think there is no time to lose, and things need to be translated into reality.
Right. I will again come back to the first issue that I asked in terms of cultural and people-to-people engagement via you in this country. Had many colorful facets, from your video with your wife and Salman Khurshid based on Shah Rukh Khan's song to your various concerts and events. What do you think was your high point in terms of doing something different?
Surely Kal Ho Naa Ho, this was fun. By the way, hard work, because we had to do the lip sync. My wife speaks a bit of Hindi, I don't. So to do lip sync in a different language, it's quite a challenge, I must tell you. But it was fun also. And I'm so grateful because the people understood the motive. The motive was, of course, to pay homage to Bollywood, to pay homage to these fantastic actors. By the way, the song is also a fantastic song. No, and the theme of the song is a very important theme. Don't think about the past only. Don't think about the future. Live right now. That's exactly what we all need. But coming back to your question, the main issue was, of course, the Kashmir concert was fantastic. All these Kashmiris who still today remembered that and are so friendly. What it has done was to simultaneously, because it was transmitted live in more than 50 TV emissions, seen on the foot of the Himalaya, seen on the foot of the Alps, it brought India and Kashmir specifically also back to the attention of the world, and was fantastic. The reaction was fantastic, and it was high culture in such a beautiful yet not easy place that this was possible. Of course, this was the highlight.
Right. So, knowing your versatile activities, I would like to know what is your plan next?
You know, I come from Munich, and I have inherited there a small little house in a wonderful place, which is under monumental protection. We are renovating this.
That's going to be a tourist attraction for us.
No. That will be a private place. It will become very nice. This is what we do now, and then we'll see what comes next. I will surely
say. If you
have
to pick one area where you would like to work in future, what would that be?
Now, that would be really in the field of foreign policy. You know, the advantage of having been 3 years in India is you change the view on your own place. You become more aware what is necessary for us Germans and Europeans to do in this changing global world. I surely would find a way to be active in this area.
And we hope to see you more often in India. And all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you
so
very
much for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks.
तो ये थी हमारी बातचीत जर्मनी के राजदूत माइकल स्टाइनर से, जो कि अब वापस अपने देश जा रहे हैं। इनके बारे में हमारी खास पसंदगी इसलिए भी है कि ये टीटोटलर हैं और शाकाहारी हैं, और हम इनके लिए बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं आपके जरिए दे रहे हैं। नमस्कार।